weirdest thing. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know if that's probably just an AI. I don't think there's any way NCAA to do that.
Oh, that's weird.
It's 4 10-minute quarters. You played with Claire, right? You went to Triton.
Yeah. Yep.
How many years did you play with him? 2 years or?
Twice. Yeah, 2 years. And then he played at Valparaiso because I walked on to Valparaiso my freshman year in college, and I never got to play for him. That was my job to recruit him there, and that worked out, I guess.
It's the jorts that get me. I just can't deal with it.
That's awesome. I don't have the balls to wear
There's
jorts.
There's too much leg to be seen on TV guys.
Penguin.
The cheerleading team pees their hoops with people paying attention to that guy. He's been sitting over there doing like round cross handsprings for 10 minutes, and nobody else can do it.
Skinny kid?
Yeah, like all these other guys are watching him just do like crazy flips. Like, here he goes again. He's literally just been doing that for like 10 minutes.
Henrik Zetterberg.
She knows her hockey. More power to her.
That's impressive. See a girl on a Henrik Zetterberg jersey.
Could have been walking in a Patrick Kane jersey and just caused a lot of drama. Could have made that mistake.
Does he still play for the Blackhawks? no kidding. I think that guy comes close.
They don't have it. They're not doing graphics.
Oh, no.
It's too hard to figure out. Thank you.
Is this for us? They're not losing.
So yeah, when we start up, most people are Bethel and Andrews got the second game of the season coming after the 103-54 W the other night over IUSB. It's like 12 years ago. That's the reason what the Pilots got to do tonight to get another victory on the season. Walk up and just do whatever.
I just asked Ryan for some simple keys for some players to play through.
Yeah, drill is out there. And Cleo and Deja Griffin, what do those two guys do so well? Talk about it. Get ball down a little bit. Yeah, Pilots got the top. Green scored Robert Moon, 15 and a half the game. Mickey Riviera last year, like 15 points against the Pilots.
All right, yeah, we got basketball going on. And got some dudes missing some warm-up jumpers. That's always fun to see from the other team. Wow, that was a free throw line jumper, and he didn't even come close. Neither did he. We got, he made one.
There we go.
2 in a row. Wow, that was brutal.
awful.
And 2. Can they miss 3? They can. And they're going to miss 4. Can they miss a 5th? Here he goes. Nope. Wow. If they shoot like this during the game, we are good to go. They scored like 30 points one of their games. I looked up their schedule. They only scored 31. What? I don't know how that's possible. Well, we beat IUSB.
Yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah, we beat IUSB 103-84. 103-84, and they lost to IUSB like 77-44. So they have not broken 50 twice this season.
That is awful.
It's brutal.
What, they had 2 games?
4. I don't know how. Yeah, that's the other thing. They played 4 games. They played like the 26th, the 28th, the 31st, and then like 2 nights ago.
Huh. Yeah, the Cardinals are going to win the World Series next year. Bethel's winning the NAIA championship this year. You know, it's just kind of how it's going to go.
Can you turn your outbound up, I think, if possible.
I don't think we control that.
Yeah, I don't know.
We don't control that. Did he explain this to you?
No.
Okay, so this.
I guess I put it on. That's fine.
So, because you can hear me right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to hear me more, turn this up.
Okay.
And you'll hear yourself more if you turn that up or
Okay.
down. And then this is going to be Tim talking to us. And so one ear, I think it's your right ear has you and me, and your left ear will have Tim.
Okay.
And so.
Yep. I'm Griffin. I'm nervous, kinda, but we're gonna get it tonight. No nerves. Great shot by Tanner, nothing but net. Money. Big slop, Kyle Thompson.
I think we're good.
Money.
Okay, so yeah, that's Tim. That's you and me. If the crowd starts getting crazy loud, you'll just want to turn that down because it gets like super loud in your one ear.
Okay.
And then if you need to like cough or take a drink or anything, just hit that. And then you won't hear anything. And then so you can talk and you can say whatever. And then if you hit this, I'll hear you and the director will hear you, and that's it.
Okay.
So that's if you need to tell me something that you don't want anybody hearing. And remember, you gotta hold it. You gotta hold it the whole time.
Okay.
So if the light's on, you're hot. I am impressed.
Yeah, those.
I've not seen back-to-back student sections like that.
Are we allowed to have? Can I take this down?
Yeah, just hold it like below your waist if you need to like check on it.
I need to quit freaking worrying about it.
They're doing group stretching. Brad's mom is wearing the same pair of jeans that the middle schoolers at the youth group I run wear, so that's always good.
Who?
Brad, his mom is down there talking to the student section.
Oh. Is that Brad? Is that Brad in the blue?
Yeah. All of the middle school girls I'm in charge of wear that same pair of jeans.
With that design on like the back pockets.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we're on. I was thinking we were on camera for the opening, but we're on camera for the opening. Huh?
I thought they weren't allowed to dunk if the refs were out here.
I didn't think they were either. Yeah, what was up with that?
I mean, they were like doing big old alley-oops. This ref is dying.
What?
The ref, he's dying.
What?
Hey, it won't move. Just use it like a ladder. That's what I've been doing. That's true.
What? I can't believe this. Wow.
Look. If you just use it like a ladder and then you step on the other side, yep. They don't have their.
Is this not on?
Why is that not? Why is it not plugged in?
If we're not looking at any graphics, we don't need it. Well, until the game starts, I guess.
You need to know what's up. Yeah, like this.
Oh, okay.
Whenever that white screen goes up, like that says Bethel, right before we go to you, I'm only gonna leave it up there for a 3 count. So you know when you're gonna be on. It's gonna be like 3 seconds. It's gonna be like 1, 2, you go. Should be.
Possible. We got a limited amount of space.
All right, here we go. Where do you want us to stand? We're getting real up close and personal with the camera.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to back up so you're even with him, like so it looks even, not like he's standing in the background. You know?
What?
You don't know.
No, where do you want me to stand?
Like, yeah, like that. Yeah, but you turn your body so. Yeah, it's gonna be kind of like the.
Can't get him this way. Let's get him that way. Let's scoot over. Let's get him head up.
Yeah, that'd be better.
Oh, yep. All right, that's.
There we go.
Just in case.
Oh, there we go. Look at that. Sexy. Ooh, yeah, go Bethel, go. Woo. Oh, all right, Mads is here. Where's TJ?
The love of his life.
He better get here quick. Someone will take a seat next to her. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Tim's such a great guy, though.
Oh, I know it.
I love him.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Bethel College basketball here at the Y Camp Athletic Center. Tonight we're bringing you your Bethel College Pilots against Andrews University. I'm joined now by Griffin Carpenter, my color man for the night. Griffin, Pilots coming off of a 103-84 decisive victory Tuesday against IUSB. How do they reproduce that W tonight?
Well, I mean, as we spoke earlier, they have a little bit of trouble scoring the basketball, Andrews University does, so I think we've just got to eliminate the easy baskets and the points off turnovers that they get because, I mean, they can't score on offense, so we got to eliminate the easy open layups we get in the transition. Twice already this season, Andrews University has failed to crack 50 points. That was not the trouble for the Pilots in their opener as they got into triple digits, and Griffin, half of their points came from just two guys, 27 Gage Ott, 26 Clay. Why don't you talk about those two guys, what they do so well?
I mean, Clay, what can't he do on the basketball floor? I mean, he defends the ball well in the post, on the perimeter. He can shoot off the dribble. He can score in the post. He can hit turnarounds. He can hit the three. I mean, what more do you want from a player that, I mean, he's everything you could ask for? And then Gage Ott, I mean, he's a great forward. He plays well with his back to the basket, very athletic, runs the floor very well, and creates a lot of, easy layups for point guards to hit him because he's so fast getting down the floor.
Well, the big thing for the Pilots tonight, we wanted to touch on Gage and congratulate him for his NCCAA Player of the Week honors, but because of a sprained ankle, he will not be in the lineup tonight. So the Pilots going to start two freshmen. We rarely see Mike Lightfoot play one, and now tonight he's going to start two. That is going to be huge for the Pilots. Those guys got to get going early. We saw Paul Foreman play very well in the season opener. Luke Fisher saw some time, going to get a lot of time here tonight. And now we are going to throw it down to the public address announcer for the national anthem.
Thank you. Next week we be standing as we honor America and those who should protect our great country with the singing of the Star Spangled Banner. Tonight's national anthem will be performed by the Corinthian Quartet.
I'm blocked by that.
gentlemen, they just got the starting lineups. Bethel and Andrews getting ready to get underway. Taking the tip for Bethel, freshman 43, Paul Foreman. For Andrews, junior 44, Andrew Simpson. Here we go. And Simpson will get the tip, and Ochin will get in there and get the ball. And already you see a play out of Caleb Ochin that you expect. Those kind of spark plug plays.
Man, that had the potential to be a great dunk, but still a way to finish it by Yo there, get his team on the board first.
Inbound to Tim McGuire. Gets it back over to Nick Little, who's going to bring it up the court for Andrews. Full court press is on early for the Pilots. Now McGuire looking to set his offense. Call a hand check foul on Paul Foreman. Not something you want to see too early on. The Pilots are already playing down.
Yeah, playing down two big post guys. Yeah, one thing we can't do tonight is get in foul trouble.
Inbounding it will be Robert Moon, Andrews' leading scorer at 15.5 points per game. Owens driving and a steal from Travis Smith. Ball out. Andrews able to get it back. Pilots trying to reset defensively. McGuire looking to drive. He's going to pull up and shoot and hit it.
Wow.
Ties it up at 2.
Not much you can do about that anyways. Great shot, great move.
You'll see tonight, folks, you won't see this out of many basketball teams, but Andrews, they only play zone. That is the only defense you will see out of the Cardinals tonight. And Caleb Ochin's going to rack up a 3. No good. And out off of Chris Owens, so Pilots will retain possession. And down to Travis Smith. Paul Foreman's going to line up a 3. Rattles out. Nobody really wanted to go after that ball. Tim McGuire came up with it.
And that's a good shot. I mean, someone else is going to have to step up in that scoring column tonight, so I'd like to see him being aggressive right after the start.
Nick Little now trying to look as Clayo guards him. Gets it in the post. Robert Moon traveled. You're seeing a lot of switches early on from the Pilots. Good communication. That's going to be critical tonight.
Yeah. You touched on earlier, Edge and Travis Smith already making plays in the game, and that's just their mantra is hustle. So look for that to really help us out tonight too with them on the defensive end.
And an illegal screen called against Luke Fisher. Down low as he tried to get Paul Foreman open for a shot.
Yeah, they've got to be smart now. Both bigs with one foul, excuse me.
Full court press back on for the Pilots, and Tim McGuire gets it up court pretty quickly. Chris Owens forces up a shot, trying to get his own miss. And they're going to call a jump ball. Owens had a hold of the ball and Paul Foreman. Possession to Andrews. Moon to inbound. Now the refs are going to talk about whether this was a jump ball or not.
Yeah, I don't know what the big deal was there. It looked pretty self-explanatory to me.
And quickly again, another hand check foul called. This one on Travis Smith. That's something you just got to adjust to quickly. If the refs are going to call it, that's fine, but you got to be able to come back from that quickly and understand that's how it's going to be called tonight.
Yeah, and exactly. If they're consistent with it and call it, I have no problem with it. But I mean, if they're going to call it every now and then it's something that doesn't need to be called. And there we go. We got it back.
Call goes the Pilots' way. An illegal screen. That one on number 44, Andrew Simpson. 17:39 to go in the first half. Just 2-2 early on. As Caleb Ochin. Nice passing, and Luke Fisher couldn't corral it. Nice hands there by Chris Owens to knock it away. looking to make a move on Foreman. Gets over to Andrew Simpson, who throws up a shot, and it's no good. Back come the Pilots. Ochin trying to push. He's going to kick it back to Clay, to Paul. Down the lane, left it short.
I mean, that's a good move. Keep being aggressive. I mean, those shots are going to fall.
And Moon, a
terrible shot.
Off-balance shot, threw up an air ball. And that's going to be a charge against Luke Fisher.
That's 2 on him.
And
already stretching our bench a little thin here in the opening minutes of the first half, which isn't good. Something we tried to avoid tonight.
Juwan Carpenter going to get in, and that was definitely a freshman play by Luke Fisher.
Just looked a little bit indecisive with the ball, like a deer in the headlights. Didn't quite know what to do with it. But you'll have that. I mean, that comes with experience. So.
And Caleb Ochin, great play. Clayo, what's he going to do? Right back to Carpenter, who can't finish.
I mean, we've got to have that. That's as easy as they get. Great play by Caleb, and we just got to capitalize on that.
Robert Moon up to McGuire. Nick Little's going to take a deep 3, and he's going to hit it to give Andrews the 5-2 lead. Very slow start for both teams here in the first 4 minutes. Clayo's going to try to answer. Comes up short. Nice play, Juwan Carpenter. And he draws the foul after he gets the offensive board. Good job there by Juwan.
Yeah, I mean, we need to look to get something a little going offensively, an easy bucket or something, because that's just going to keep Andrews right in the game. Our stagnant offense, that's something we can't have.
Clayo trying to make a move. Jumps down the lane. What a play, and couldn't finish, but gets his own rebound. And they say on the floor with the foul. Great play there by Clay to get his own miss.
Spectacular move to get to the basket, and then an even better play to get his rebound and draw the foul.
Inbounding it will be Ochin. Tosses it up. Paul Foreman tipped around, and McGuire's going to come back with it. Both teams very sluggish at the start. Almost a turnover there. Robert Moon able to corral it. McGuire lines up a long 3, and they got it. Back-to-back threes by Andrews, and it's an 8-2 advantage as Jordan Kuhn gets ready to check into the game. Clayo looking to get something going. Lost his dribble in the corner. Paul Foreman, foul called late, and it was a foul. He got him on the arm heading in, so Paul's going to be shooting 2. Pilots down 6. What are you seeing early on, Griffin, that they got to change? Because 2 points in 4.5 minutes is not going to get it done tonight.
No, I mean, we've been sloppy with the ball. I mean, we've taken some questionable shots. And I like Foreman being aggressive because, like we hit on earlier, someone's got to pick up that scoring column that Wasink and left being on the bench tonight. So I don't mind him being aggressive, but we just got to find some easy baskets. Like, that was a great seal right there. I mean, if we can get more of that, I think we'll be fine because they're not going to be able to guard us in the post all night. And those shots are going to fall at some point tonight.
Well, we touched on the two freshmen getting the start tonight. If you're wondering why, you just mentioned it. Ryan Wasink still recovering from a couple knee surgeries. He hasn't seen the floor yet this season. Gage Ott, after a monstrous performance in the first game, sprained ankle. He is out tonight. Hopefully, we'll be back this weekend as the Pilots have a quick turnaround after this one. So some new faces out there tonight. Looked a little shaky early on, but we saw them in the home opener last week, and all the freshmen looked phenomenal. The whole team really did. So you'd hope they can get turned around pretty quick here.
And it's a growing experience. I mean, with more and more games, I mean, they'll become more and more comfortable. You can just tell that they're a little tentative right now, but, I mean, that'll change. So.
Well, and really, I think you have to, if you ever want to put freshmen in a game, it's early on in the season before you get into conference play.
Exactly. Like you never want to see players get hurt, but this will provide some guys that probably wouldn't have seen time, some valuable minutes for us down the stretch when we get into, the conference stretch of the season and our playoff run. So this could prove to be very valuable, but like I said, you never like to see two of your best post players sitting on the bench.
Absolutely not. As Paul Foreman hit the first free throw, Jordan Kuhn came in for Travis Smith. Ball gets it to roll home, so he hits them both. Pilots trail 8-4, 15:30 left in the first half, and the press is on again for the Pilots. Over to McGuire, and he's able to get across. Now the Pilots got to reset. Nice move by Simpson, but he couldn't finish. Caleb Ochin gets it up ahead to Jordan Kuhn. Kuhn, nice pass!
Great pass by Jordan Kuhn there.
Right through the defense. Clay Yo cutting in, gets the easy layup.
And that's exactly what he brings off the bench. He's a playmaker, brings a ton of athleticism, plays hard. You know, I'm really glad to see it's his time to shine now. I mean, he's always been capable.
And a travel, great job by the Pilots. That's what you want out of that press. And it finally got a turnover.
Caleb Ochin causing some more havoc. What do you know?
Grant Gaylor into the game now. Another freshman, the third one you will see. Paul Foreman takes a seat. Clay trying to make a move, gets around his man, lays it up and in, and that is 6 for Clay.
Great up and under there by Clay. Way to read the defense. And that's what I was talking about. If we can get to the rack, those shots are going to fall.
Grant Gaylor taking on Tim McGuire up top. Now Moon with Jawan Carpenter on him. Nick Little just has to fire up a shot and it won't go. Reset. Carpenter can get it down to Jordan Kuhn. Just couldn't finish. Nice move though down low to get around his man.
And a great look by Jawan too.
And Jordan almost got that steal. I'll tell you what, folks, if you want to have some entertainment, watch Jordan Kuhn play defense, because you are going to see that night in and night out. He is just a freak athlete that goes after the ball.
Phenomenal.
Moon trying to inbound.
And he does all little things that we need done, like you mentioned earlier. 11 points, 10 boards last game. I mean, that's quiet for a guy off the bench. I mean, that's something everybody can use off their bench.
Rattles out from McGuire, so Kuhn coming back. We're all tied up at 8. Clay Yo, nice move, and Grant Gaylor was not home. A little miscommunication. Travis Smith going to check in for Caleb Ochin.
A great start to this ball game by Caleb Ochin. He really set the tone defensively, I think, on that first play right there.
Nick Little trying to get around Clay Yo. He's going to get there, almost traveled. Tim McGuire now. Over in the corner, Robert Moon, no dice. Clay Yo's going to bring it up himself. Nice pass by Clay. Travis able to corral it. Pilots are going to reset.
See him get a good bucket here.
Grant pulls up and he hits it.
That's a good boost for the old confidence for the freshman.
Pilots now lead 10-8, 12.5 to go in the first half. And Nick Little double dribble, and the Pilot press has gotten to Andrews University.
Their press has been great tonight. I mean, they've put great pressure on the ball, forced them to make quick, bad decisions, and I mean, it's worked out for us so far. I mean, right there again, Jordan Kuhn there creating havoc with the defensive play.
Going up, Clay Yo, and they call an illegal screen on Jawan Carpenter, so yet another foul on a Pilot big man, not what Coach Mike Lightfoot wants to see.
The foul's going to actually go on Travis Smith, and that's his second. The two guys in foul trouble already.
And nice play, Clay Yo, get ready! Boom. Here we go! That'll get the crowd fired up.
Great play by Clay Yo. And that's the basketball instincts and intangibles that you just can't teach to make that play. Get some easy points, which is exactly what we needed to get our offense back going.
Great job there on the press yet again. Pilots getting after it early on defensively. John Carpenter and everybody to the ball. Somebody got a piece of that. Clayo, Grant Gaylor, 4-3. Little long off the back of the rim.
Good extra pass there too by Clay. I mean, we've moved the ball around very well so far tonight. We just haven't capitalized on the opportunities so far.
Yeah, they definitely found the holes in the zone. Now it's just about getting the ball to drop home. Jordan Kuhn now playing defense on Tim McGuire. He's going to pull up a three, and he got it. Wow, nice shot, Tim McGuire.
I mean, that's great defense by Jordan Kuhn. There's not much you can do about that.
Clayo now with the ball. Step back three over his man. No dice. Pilots lead by just 1 point here. Coming down to the halfway point of the first half, 12-11. Tim McGuire bringing it up the court.
McGuire's off to a nice start so far. Hit some big threes. Nice pull-up jumper to start the game.
Yet another illegal screen. I think that's about the 4th illegal screen we've seen called tonight. These guys got to know you just got to set your feet and don't move.
Yeah, it's a silly foul. I mean, something that can be easily corrected. And like you said, just stay still, set the screen. We don't have to worry about it.
Well, Caleb Ochin checked back in, but so too has number 32, Nick Kindig. Kindig, a great story. And is that another? That's another illegal screen.
Wow.
That is just mind-boggling how this is happening. Anyways, folks, Nick Kindig was on the JV team, a walk-on on the JV team, got called up last year due to some suspensions and some injuries, really more just a practice squad guy. And now this season, as you can see, the hard work paying off, and he is seeing meaningful minutes here in the Pilots' second game of the season as he tries to track down number 22, Nike Oliveira.
Yeah, Nick's exactly what you need in a zone offense. A pure shooter, a guy that can just stroke it, and a guy that the defense has to honor to open up the middle for some of our big guys. Is that another one?
Yeah, believe it or not, folks, that was another illegal screen. I think we're up to 6 now in 9 minutes and 45 seconds of play. Holy cow, I've never seen this. Here comes Caleb Ochin over to Kindig. Pilots wrapping around the top of the key. Down low, Paul Foreman driving in, foul! Couldn't finish, so he will shoot 2.
A good strong move by Foreman to get to the free throw line there. I mean, you're struggling on offense. Where do most players go? The free throw line.
His first 2. Sinks that one, nothing but net.
And you gotta like Paul's aggressiveness so far. I mean, he hasn't been afraid to take it to the lanes. Took an outside jumper. I mean, that's what you got to see. That builds confidence. I mean, even if they don't fall in, I mean, it's good to see him doing that.
The last thing you want to see out of a freshman is to be timid.
Exactly.
You can fix mistakes, but you got to at least put yourself in a position to succeed.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
done that. Press back on for the Pilots, and Oliveira had nowhere to go. Finally got it into Chris Owens. And Paul Foreman called for the foul, and that will drive Coach Lightfoot insane. That's the second on Paul. He's going to have to take a seat. There's still 10 minutes left in this first half. And Will Stevie checking into the game.
And we're doing exactly what we thought we shouldn't do, is dig deep into our bench real early in the game. And, I mean, I hope this foul trouble doesn't come back to bite us.
Well, certainly. I mean, we talked about Andrew's scoring problems. They've scored 31, 44, and then the other 2 games they've gotten to 60. They do not score all that much, and this is exactly the kind of game they want.
Yeah, this
14-13 halfway through the first half. This is their wheelhouse.
Exactly. This is the exact type of ball they want to play. It's their tempo.
And a mistake there. Caleb Ochin overthrows Will Stevie. And that's another thing that's going to be hard for the Pilots. We said a lot of new faces, and with Paul and Luke getting in foul trouble, you're seeing guys like Nick Kindig and Will Stevie who don't see the court much, and that's going to affect your communication.
Yeah.
Here comes Tim McGuire. Nick Kindig on him. With Chris Owens. Owens tries to drive through. Nice play there by Nick Kindig, getting that ball back in bounds. Jordan Kuhn looking to drive. Gets it into Stevie, who traveled.
Looked a little anxious there.
Yep. Looked like if he didn't know if he wanted to do a post move or take it back out, that cost him a turnover there. Inbound now to Tim McGuire. Sprinting up the floor and blocked by Will Stevie. And a foul called, I believe, that's Robert Moon. Offensive foul on Moon, but how about Will Stevie? The travel and just comes back with the big block.
Great defensive play there by Will Stevie. He made a bad play on offense, gets it right back there at defense. I don't think Coach Lightfoot probably has a problem with that.
Well, that's the mentality you want to see, especially with the depth issues the Pilots have. You got to have a next man up mentality, next play, and Will Stevie showed it there. Misses the first free throw. With 9 minutes to go, Pilots lead by just one, 14-13. Not the game we expected to see early on. Missed three there, and Stevie the rebound. Nice play there by Stevie. Clay Yo coming back up. And the foul on number 22, Makey Oliveira. 1-1 for Clay Yo.
Like we said early on, we've just catered to all their needs for them to be able to win this basketball game. We've given them extra possessions. We've turned the ball over. We've missed a lot of easy shots. And take it for granted, they have hit some tough shots. They've fadeaway threes, some pull-up jumpers. They don't see guys hit every day. So, I mean, I'd like to think those wouldn't fall all game, but if they do, kudos to them.
And certainly the Pilots, they love to basically turn this into a track meet. That's what the identity of this team is this season. That's what Coach Lightfoot has told me and talking to him. And when you have a group of officials that are going to call a lot, that kind of slows your pace. And I mean, credit to the officials. They came out early and they made the calls early on, and they've stayed consistent. I'm never going to knock an official for being consistent, but the Pilots have to be able to work with that and move on and not just all of a sudden fall into this sleep and this sluggish style of play. Chris Owens with the ball now. Clay Yo on it. Tim McGuire didn't get it off in time, made the shot, but shot clock violation. And while the Pilots have had some offensive struggles tonight, I'm more than impressed with their defensive effort.
Oh, their defense has been dynamite. Multiple players making plays, from 10th man to best player on the floor. I mean, everyone's contributing, and that's what you got to have. And now, if we can just keep clicking on offense, we'll be looking pretty good right now.
8 minutes to go in the first half. Pilots lead 16-13, looking for a big play to get this offense moving in the right direction. Jordan Kuhn down low. Clay Yo, a little give and go, up and in, couldn't finish. Jordan Kuhn, nice play. Offensive putback. 18-13 Pilots.
And that play right there, I think, epitomizes Jordan Kuhn. He's in the right place at the right time.
Turnover. Ochin, Yo, back to Ochin.
Great pass.
Give and go, and Andrews needs a timeout. Pilots lead 20-13. We were just saying they need a spark. I think they found it.
They got it. What a great pass by Clay Yo. And then a great rebound on the play before by Jordan Kuhn. Like you said, guys hustle, guys make those plays. It's contagious. The whole team catches it. So,
well, in the back-to-back plays we just saw are the staple
of what I think the Pilots are going to be this season. We had an offensive rebound by Jordan Kuhn, a guard, and then Clay Yo, you're expecting Clay Yo dunk, Clay Yo, nice play. He gives it off to Ochin after the press forced the turnover at half court. Great back-to-back plays by the Pilots, forced the timeout that Andrews really needed, and they now lead by 7, the biggest lead of the game.
Yeah, and I think Clay's going to have to facilitate a little more this year. I mean, not having Schaus and Miller there with him. I mean, he's obviously we'd have no one really of that caliber besides him this year. So, I mean, it's going to be a little different for him, and I'm anxious to see how he grows as a player and as a teammate as well.
Everyone knows Clay Yo is the guy, most certainly a Conference Player of the Year contender. But I think, as you said, the fun for this team is going to be how many other guys step up, and I really do think they have a great group of guys around him that can do that.
They do. They have 6, 7, 8 guys that are very capable to do numerous of different things.
Jordan Kuhn now on Robert Moon. Moon trying to make a move. Chris Owens for 3. No good, and yep, that's going to be over the back on 33, San Menandi.
And that's got to be encouraging for Coach Lightfoot to see out of Juwan Carpenter, doing the little things that's so often forgotten in a basketball game, like boxing out. You know, he comes in, he's doing the right things, draws a foul, and he's going to get to the free throw line, points with the box stop.
Timeout on the floor now. 7 minutes to go in the first half. Pilots lead 20-13. Out of this timeout, you're going to see Juwan Carpenter shooting in the double bonus. Griffin, what do the Pilots got to do here these last 7 minutes to really start to expand this lead and get back to their game?
I think they've just got to build on those last 2 offensive possessions they had for the previous 2. I mean, they electrified the crowd. They get the crowd into it. It gets them pumped up. I mean, they've just got to continue. I mean, to take the shots. Like you said, Clayo's not going to miss that layup he missed. 9 times out of 10, he's making it.
Yeah, they've found some open spots in the zone, and they just haven't hit shots, and that's certainly something that you would expect to change as it goes on if they just keep executing the way they have.
Yeah, and just continue this outstanding defense they're playing. I mean, that defense will go a long way into bringing that offense back. So, I mean, as long as they just keep up the intensity on the defensive floor, the offensive intensity and the scoring is going to come.
5 on the floor for the Pilots. Grant Gaylor, Caleb Ochin, Juwan Carpenter, Jordan Kuhn, and Clay Yo. And for Andrews is Chris Owens, San Menandi, Robert Moon, Nick Little. Also on the floor, Makey Oliviero. So Juwan hits 1 of 2 to get it to 21-13.
Pilots back in the patented press again.
Gets it across half court. And a tight pass, didn't have a whole lot of room to go. And Juwan Carpenter getting the turnover. Clay Yo almost turns it right back over. Carpenter trailing, was able to get there. Bang out, 4-3. Can't get it. Clay Yo, the offensive board, right back up.
Money.
Over the top of a defender and in. Pilots lead by double digits for the first time tonight.
And they've done a great job of crashing the offensive board so far.
And a 5-second call. It's going right back to the Pilots.
There we are with that press again.
And that's about the 4th turnover the Pilots have forced from that press tonight, and then numerous others, the way they've played defense, even if Andrews can get set. Caleb Ochin to inbound. Pilots lead 23-13, 6:20 on the clock. Over to Grant Gaylor. Clay Yo, he's going to line up a 3. No good. He hasn't hit one yet tonight.
Just can't seem to get it going from the outside so far. So all shooters do is keep shooting, and that's what I expect him to do.
Tim McGuire trying to drive. Nice play. Great drive by Tim McGuire.
He's had a pretty great start to well, he's had a pretty great first half in general, not only a start, but he's been efficient offensively.
And the ball kind of bouncing around now. Clay Yo had a shot at it. Chris Owens looking to make a play. just gets it past. Jordan Kuhn was right there, did about all he could. Caleb Ochin getting it back over Jordan Kuhn. Pilots trying to break this zone. Cleo, nobody there to help him. Finally gets a pass off. Caleb Ochin looking to drive, getting around. Couldn't finish the layup.
It's a great move by Ochin. You just got to finish that. And that's been basically the theme of our night. We made the moves, we made the passes to get to the basket. We just haven't been able to finish.
Tim McGuire now looking to get something going. Carpenter almost, who's that going to be off of? They say the Pilots. As bodies went, and Carpenter's bleeding. He got hit above the eye. He's going to have to come out. I don't know if anybody's noticed it yet. They did. They're going to have to take care of him. Probably took a knee or an elbow as the bodies went flying there. Great play, though. Sacrificing the body, getting in. Just couldn't get the ball to go their way.
Yeah, he's been very impressive on the defensive end tonight so far.
Had to come in because of foul trouble, and Clay Yo gets the steal. Nice move, Clay! Goes right over the top of the defender, lays it in, 25-17 Pilots.
And that is where he is so dangerous in transition by himself. If you've got to guard him one-on-one, good luck.
Clay Yo, 14 points here in the first half. Still 4.5 to go. Tim McGuire in the corner. That three is good from Chris Owens. Make it a 5-point game.
Oh, good pass.
And guess who? Clay Yo. And a travel. And Nick Little better be real careful because he's 2 seconds from getting teed up. He had the ball and just walked in bounds. I don't know what he's upset about with his teammates. He turned around and walked in bounds with the ball.
Yeah, that was on him. I don't know what he's yelling at. A little extreme there for that scenario.
Well, right now for Andrews, Tim McGuire with 10 points, really doing all he can to keep his team in the game. And really what has the Pilots in the lead is Clay Yo and just the litany of mistakes from Andrews University, turnover after turnover. Now the Pilots, the press has worked, but they have just made some really bonehead mistakes on the offensive end.
Yeah, I mean, they've missed a lot of shots. I mean, they've missed a lot of easy shots, and they made a lot of stupid turnovers. But what's encouraging is, I mean, they've played their butts off on the defensive end, and they've done the little things on offense to keep them in the lead. Like, they've done a great job on the offensive glass so far. And I'm been really impressed with that aspect of our game so far. And that's one thing that Ryan Lightfoot keyed on before the game is they need to control the offensive glass. And I think they've done a good job of that so far.
And certainly when you're playing down guys like the Pilots are, and hopefully not for too long down another guys. Juwan Carpenter, we have not seen him yet make it back to the floor. He got a cut above his eye, so they're taking care of that. So down another guy, really at that point you got to lean on your defense because the more players you lose, just the less continuity you'll have on the offensive end. And they've done that. They've responded, only giving up 20 points here with 4 minutes to go in the first half. Nick Kindig now with the ball, going to get it over. Jordan Kuhn's going to fire up a three. He's got it!
Great play by Nick Kindig to create that.
Jordan Kuhn continually impresses me. I don't know about you, Griffin. I've loved what I've seen so far this season.
He brings so many things to the table. I mean, he can do so many different things for you night in, night out. He's just so valuable.
And another turnover. Jordan Kuhn has it, bringing it up the floor. Caleb Ochin back to Kuhn. Wide open layup.
There he is again.
Pilots lead by 12. And this press is just giving Andrews University nightmares. They have a chance to get set. Nick Little. Tim McGuire now looking to get something going. He wants a screen. He gets it. Chris Owens fires up a deep two. Doesn't get it, and the rebound, Jordan Kuhn bringing it up the floor. Kindig. Leo's going to fire a three. Still can't get it going. He has 16 on the night. None of those have come beyond the arc.
We know that's something that he won't struggle with for long, though. He proved that to us last year, that he is a very good shooter and is very capable of knocking anything down.
Kick out, Chris Owens looking to make a move. Comes up short.
And there Jordan Kuhn is again.
Nick Kindig. Mike Lightfoot wanted him to call a timeout there. So 2:18 left in the first half. Pilots trying to get on a bit of a roll. They lead 32-20, and they've started to come together a little bit better offensively.
Yeah, their offense is struggling, and they've created it all on defense. They've got good looks, and they're capitalizing. Like you said earlier, you can only hold an offense with the.
Oh, folks, right now what you're seeing from the fans, a little late Halloween celebration as they've come tonight in full regalia. You can see for yourself what's going on. I don't even know if we can describe all of the outfits we see over there, but it's great to see the fans coming out supporting their Pilots, and that's a huge thing. You want home court advantage, and the fans have been loud tonight at times. Been a bit of a slow game, but the Pilots have made some great plays to get the fans on their feet, and they have certainly responded well. Yes,
they have. Like you alluded to earlier, it's nice to see the students coming out and showing support, because I know these guys love it, and it makes it that much more fun to play in an atmosphere that's electric.
Speaking of electric, we have seen that from the Pilots defense tonight, and that has led to really all of the best Pilot scoring chances. When they've forced turnovers, they've gotten back with numbers, and that's been the easiest time the Pilots have had scoring tonight.
Yeah, they've created their opportunities to score off defense, and they've been great in transition. Clay Yo's been great in transition. Kuhn's been great in transition.
Here we go. Now Jordan Kuhn going down to Clay Yo into Nick Kindig for the layup.
Hey. Great play there by Lightfoot.
Nick's first basket of the season. You don't expect him to get his looks down low, but he did there, and he got it home. 34-20 now. Pilots switching on the screens. Tim McGuire step back, hand in his face, couldn't get it. Gets his own rebound though.
A good defense on the shot there by Kuhn to get a hand there and make that shot difficult.
Caleb Ogen wanting the ref to say that went off of Nick Little. He disagreed, and Andrews will keep the ball. Minute 30 to go in the half. Nice hands by Grant Gaylor.
How impressed have you been with our wing and on-ball defenders tonight? They've done a spectacular job.
Absolutely, and something like that, even if the Pilots don't get the ball, you force Andrews to reset, and that's not something they've had a real easy job doing tonight. And Kuhn going in after the ball gets called for the reach around.
As a coach, I think you live with that foul. He was trying to make a play. Maybe should have been a little more disciplined, but I think that's a foul that Coach Lightfoot can live with.
It'll be a 1-and-1 for Robert Moon. Gets it to roll home. Moon been very quiet tonight as Andrews University's leading scorer. That is just his first point.
Hey, he hasn't got too many good looks either. He's had a few shots on the baseline that he hasn't been able to convert, miss a layup, but Pilots have done a good job keeping him in check.
Caleb Ochen bringing it up the floor now. Clay Yo, and I think that was off of Clay. He wanted a foul call, did not get it, driving in.
And Ochen almost makes another play again, gets in there on the offensive rebound, tips it up, about had it saved back to Clay Yo. And this isn't just one night, that's the effort you get night in and night out from Caleb Ochen.
Play stopped by the official. Not sure what they are stopping it for. Something on the inbound. I don't think the official was ready for him to inbound it. They get it into Robert Moon. Back over to Nick Little. Didn't have a whole lot of room to go, and they get it over. Very close to an 8-second call.
One of the few times they successfully beat that Pilot press tonight.
Robert Moon instantly double-teamed once he got it down in the post. A driving off-balance look from Joshua Palos. Pilots coming back down the floor. Jordan Kuhn over to Oetjen, dumps it off. And a foul called, I believe, on Tim McGuire. Jordan Kuhn making his first free throw. He now has 8 points, second leading scorer for the Pilots behind Clay Yo's 16. And Kuhn hits both freebies, and good to see here Juwan Carpenter back in the game. He has a Band-Aid over that left eye. Good for the Pilots to get him back out there. Final 28 seconds in the first half. Pilots lead 36-22. Tim McGuire will look to hold and get his boys the last shot before heading into the locker room. Down low, Robert Moon gets it back up top. Nick Little, 10 seconds to go. Screen from Moon. Little trying to make a move on Carpenter, just tosses it up, no dice. Ooh. And that is the first half. Pilots lead 36-22. Bit of a slow start and a little sluggish at times, but I think you and I have both mentioned on end how impressed we've been with the Pilots' defense. I think that's the story of the first half.
Yeah, I mean, they've been absolutely awesome. And, I mean, to start the game, I mean, they're forcing turnovers, creating havoc all over the floor. And to the end of the game, I think, or to the end of the half, per se, I think they got even better. I mean, you look at the last 3 or 4 possessions from Andrews, and they took running shots, 4 shots, stuff just to try to get a shot up there. I mean, we really haven't gave them anything great to look at. We've held their leading scorer in check, except for a couple of free throws. So, I mean, there's not much you can complain about that defense right now.
No, and I think for the Pilots, you know, we talked about the slow start, and a lot of that was they were starting to kind of play to Andrews' game. They were playing that slow game that Andrews wants, and I think to the Pilots' credit, the last 8 minutes or so of that first half, they started playing more of their game. We saw the scoring go up a little bit, and there were some kind of ticky-tack fouls early on that the refs came out. They made a point that those were the fouls they were going to call, and we talked about the Pilots needing to adjust to that, needing to be able to play through that, and I think as time went on, they showed they could, and hopefully they can keep that going in the second half. Well, folks, earlier this week we had a chance to sit down with Bethel baseball coach Steve Zartman, and he had some things to say about the upcoming season.
Well, I think we got to start with what veterans we have back with us this year, and the experience that we have, especially in the positional play, and then with the addition of the new guys. I think the expectations is to have a good mix together. Coming out after fall ball here has been completed. I think our new faces have a very good handle on what we want to do and what we expect. As we go into spring, I expect us to be able to put a team on that field that's going to compete every day, play hard, and do the things that we need to do to try to be successful. I think One of the biggest exciting things is the new additions to our pitching staff, which were much needed coming into this year. I think those guys are going to come along really well and do the things that we need them to do. As we all know, that's going to be a very important factor, in how we roll through the season. Another exciting thing is the experience that we have coming back with the addition of a couple transfers that came in that have experience as well. That's exciting to be able to put guys on the field that have been there and done it before, and I think that's going to help us as we go out every day to compete. I thought we made good improvements as the fall went on. I thought our guys came out most every day and worked hard to get better, and I really liked the strides that we made from week 1 to week 7, and what we were doing. And we felt like coming down the stretch, we felt like getting a handle on things was sinking in a whole lot better, with our guys, especially the new faces that came in. So was real excited about where we are at this point coming out of fall ball. I think the field work was very good for us this fall, and hopefully that'll propel us into this winter as we continue to prepare. Well, a few things throughout this fall. Back in September, we did a free clinic for young ages 7 to 12. Here in October, we're still waiting to hear back from the Mishawaka Parks, but we're hoping to get a work day with them in here before the end of the month. And in November, we're going to look to do something with Transformation Ministries out of South Bend to help them with maybe a project in November. But those are some examples of things that we're going to try to do here before Christmas break. And it's just a great way for us to give back, but also a great way for us to be reminded about what servant leadership is and the whole idea that Christ taught us when he was here. And, those are some things that we like to do together as a team to give back. Well, I think you got to look at veteran guys who have been here. You got seniors, Nick McDonald and Jason Herlock. I think those are a couple guys that you're going to look to. Morgan Erla, who's been here 4 years as well. And you look to guys like that who've been here and done it to kind of lead the way in setting the example for the new guys, for the new faces, to see kind of how things done. But I think we have a number of veterans, especially on the field as well, that have the ability to step up and show some leadership, and so it's just a matter of those guys continue to encourage. But I think you look at guys like that, that's been around for 3-4 years, already, and to set the tone for what we're all about.
Camp Athletic Center in the middle of a awards presentation for some of the Bethel basketball summer camps that went on this past summer, and as you can see, again, great turnout from the student section, and they've come to a game that maybe we didn't expect to see how it started, but near the end of that first half, we've definitely seen our old Pilots back in action as they lead 36-22, and Clay Yo, you talked about at the beginning, doing his thing, 16 points in the first half. None of those coming behind the arc. A lot of it him making some tough shots through Andrew's zone.
Yeah, Clay, he struggled with his jump shot, but, who doesn't at points and times in games? We all know that that's not something that's going to become a habit for him. So, he's struggling, but I'm sure he'll get it going maybe even in the second half. So, we all know you can only hold him down for so long. And, you can't look past the performance of Jordan Kuhn either. He's done so many things on the court for the Pilots tonight, and he's just been phenomenal. I think he's going to be a guy that's going to play a key role in a lot of scenarios for the Pilots all year long.
Yeah, Jordan Kuhn in that first half, 3 of 5 from the floor for 9 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. What more can you ask from the first man off your bench?
Stat stuffer. That's exactly what you wanted.
Well, right now, folks, right in the middle of a Halloween competition. The theme for tonight is some costumes. Fans a few days late, but better late than never to the Halloween party.
And right now a competition going on to see who's going to win a great pair of headphones. And we talked about, whatever it takes to get the fans out. And it's just awesome to have a student section to get everybody fired up. And really, I've talked to all the players. It makes a massive difference playing in front of a big home crowd instead of playing in an empty gym.
Oh, I know, most definitely. I'm sure there's been games where you've broadcasted that there's maybe been 2 or 3 people in the student section. For a program that's as rich in history as Bethel is, and the things they present year in and year out, the great teams they have in the basketball floor, there's no reason why us as students shouldn't be here supporting them.
Yeah, certainly. Like you mentioned, there have been games where you said 2 or 3 people in the student section, and just the atmosphere itself, the difference, how much more fun it is, even for us as broadcasters, just to be in a packed house. It's always more fun for us if we're trying to be louder than the fans so people can hear us at home, because that means that the pilots are getting everybody fired up and really doing their thing.
So what's your favorite costume out there right now?
I don't know. You got to give credit to the guy that has got his fake muscles going on. His crown. I like that someone went Clark Kent instead of Superman.
Well, they did, didn't they? Joe Rasball's pulling off. I don't know what he's trying to do there. The little MC Hammer look or something.
I think that's got to be what it is.
Caucasian MC Hammer.
And right now they're going to have some kind of competition. We have mariachi band with someone dressing up as Mike Lightfoot, which is congratulations to Coach Mike Lightfoot. Good to hear that his surgery went well. You saw him in that first game. He still had that neck brace on. You see him here tonight. He was finally able to get that off, so it's good to see for Coach Lightfoot. Not that it really hampered him at all. He was still his normal, incredibly animated self in that first game that you always expect out of Coach Mike Lightfoot.
I don't know that there's much that could bring Coach Lightfoot down. One of the most genuine people that you'll ever meet. Will do anything for anybody. And
when he's out on the court, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You would have to strap him to that chair to keep him in it for an entire game.
How many times do you think he paces that sideline a game? Tom Crean-like numbers?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be up in the hundreds. He is walking miles every night just fretting. And I think really his players buy into that too. That's something great to see. His players don't accept anything other than perfection either.
Yeah, exactly.
They are always striving to be better, and that's what it is. It's not that he's disappointed in someone's winning effort. He just knows that there's always improvements to make, and there's always that next team on the schedule that wants to exploit your downfalls.
Yeah, and you can see his passion directly correlates to the way his players play. And, just like you said, they're never satisfied. They're always working in the offseason to become better players in any area they may need to. So, he's been great. He's proven he's the most successful coach here, and at this level, and maybe even at any level. He's a model to many young coaches, and he's going to have even more years to come in his career. And I've just been glad that I've got to be a part of it.
Yeah, over 700 wins in his storied career. The impact he's made is countless, and you see it night in and night out. And really what you see in the intensity of the players and what you love is every time a pilot makes a big play on either end, really the first place they go is either to their bench or to the student section trying to get people to be louder. And that's just awesome to see that interaction.
So an interaction that's been long lost. I'm glad to have it back.
As both teams come back out for warm-ups, it is 36-22. Pilots lead. Just some scoring for you here. We mentioned Clay Yo, 16 points. Jordan Kuhn with 9. Past that, pretty spread out, but nobody really doing too much. Paul Foreman, 4 points. Caleb Oetjen, 2 points. Grant Gaylor, Nick Kindig, 2 points. Juwan Carpenter chipped in a free throw, and for Andrews, just 4 players on the board for them. Tim McGuire with 10, Chris Owens 7, Robert Moon 2, and Nick Little 3. And really, you look at that and you just have to know that's all the Pilots defense. They have played fantastic tonight.
You see the fans there doing the rowboat cheer, just trying to keep warm during halftime.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely done some cool things. I mean, they're getting into it, and I mean, it's good to see them, the student section carrying again. I mean,
back to some
put it
stats.
simpler.
Back to some stats, though. Andrews University, we talked about it, 15 turnovers in the first half. You're never going to have a lead if you turn it over 15 times a half. Really, turn it over 15 times in a game. You're really not doing all that you can be doing in a half, and that's really the press. They have not been able to figure out the press tonight.
Yeah, I mean, when you're struggling on offense, the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over, and I mean, they needed us to turn the ball over to create more opportunities for them in their struggling offense, and we've had some turnovers, but I mean, they've been by far way worse in that aspect of this basketball game.
Who do you think is going to be the one guy besides Clay O that's going to step up in the second half of the Pilots and really put this game away?
You know, I just really like the aggressiveness I saw from Paul Foreman in that early stages of the first half when he was still in the game and not sitting on the bench in foul trouble. And I mean, I think if he can be smart and I mean some shots fall for him, I think he can make a difference. He's got the skills, he's got the tools. He's shown that he knows where to be in the right time. So I mean, I think he can make a big difference, but he's got to stay out of foul trouble.
Yeah, Paul only saw about 5 minutes in that first half because of the foul trouble you mentioned. All 4 of his points coming from the line, and that's also to the credit of the aggressiveness you mentioned, getting in, drawing fouls on the Andrews players. I think you got to keep going to the other bread and butter as well. Jordan Kuhn. I mean, he's a guy. He's on pace for another double-double. He's a guy that can very easily get 5-6 steals in one game. I mean, he's all over the place and really embodies what all of these players seem to be buying into this season. It's that kind of havoc-style defense. Maybe basketball fans at home, if you've ever watched BCU play, it's that very havoc, just do everything you can to make the other team uncomfortable. And I talked to Mike Lightfoot a couple weeks ago, and he said that's really the style of this team this year. Just make it a track meet, sprint, up and down, always running, always moving. And really, I think that will lead to a lot more spread scoring from the Pilots than we've seen in years past.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they get up and down. I mean, you talk at a guy like Jordan Kuhn and you talk to coaches. I mean, you never want to lose intensity when you go to your bench. And it's almost seemed tonight that when Jordan stepped on the floor, the intensity is almost picked up. And I mean, I think that's just another amazing quality that he adds to the basketball game and to this team. And like you said, he will be another huge player that makes a difference in this second half.
And this is just a big change. It's just kind of a new phase in Bethel basketball, because as long as I've been around, even before I got here, really all you ever saw out of a Pilot team was one big, 4 shooters. And we've seen early on these first 2 games this drastic transition to more of a traditional style, 2 bigs, a small forward, 2 guards. Not something I don't think anybody's ever seen out of Mike Lightfoot, but give credit to him and his coaching staff. They knew that they didn't really have the personnel they've had in years past, and so far, first game and a half, it's worked.
Yeah, Coach Lightfoot breaking all kind of barriers tonight. Traditional 2-post offense, playing 2 freshmen.
Well, as we reset here, Travis Smith to inbound at Cale Boach, and Pilots lead 36-22, and we're underway here in the second half. Back to the original starting 5 for both teams. Into Paul Foreman, and he draws the foul yet again.
And there's that aggressiveness we talked about. Him getting to the free throw line, he's struggling to put the ball in the basket offensively. I mean, that shows the sign of a mature player. Gets to the line.
Still has
easy points.
yet to hit a shot from the floor, but he's made all 4 of his free throws tonight as he gets ready to shoot his 5th. And he knocks it home.
And it'd be very nice to have a big guy that can bang down there in the low block, and then he gets fouled and goes to the free throw line and can make his 3 throws.
Andrew Simpson, that was his 3rd foul, just 11 seconds into the second half, so he's going to have to sit right back down. And Foreman gets it to roll in. 38-22 now. Pilots lead. Nick Little to inbound. Press back on for the Pilots. Tim McGuire brings it across half court. And a foul called on Travis Smith.
That'll be his third.
He got a hold of 35, Chris Owens. Mike Lightfoot's going to ride it out. He's going to leave him in there. I think that's a lot of trust in the senior, the lone senior on this team, to not get himself in any more foul trouble. And McGuire trying to make a move. Drives in. And hands on the back. That's what they're calling against Caleb Ochin. Just Caleb's first. With a couple of quick fouls again here, as the first half seems to have started a lot, or second half rather, started off much like the first half has.
And that's not a theme we want to continue in this half. We'd like to see these freshmen get some time. Good move there.
Yeah, great move from San Manandi. Get around Luke Fisher. Ochin wrapping it over to Clayo, and he comes up empty on his three, but the offensive putback by Paul Foreman. So Clay's shooting struggles continue, but Paul Foreman was right there, heads up play. He's up to 8 points now.
That's not something we're used to seeing out of Clay.
He's just not looked real comfortable. Any three he's taken tonight, he has not looked comfortable.
But a great play to clean it up there by Paul Foreman. So.
Pilots defense pressing yet again. Nick Little gonna put up a shot, and Paul Foreman got a hand on it, and Luke Fisher got more than a hand on the second one. Holy cow.
What a block. Back-to-back blocks by the freshman.
Nick Little got the first one back, and I'm going to think he wished he hadn't. And I'm not sure what happened that time. Nick Little just went right in the 5-hole and right out of bounds. 40-24, 2 minutes into the second half of play. And Travis Smith now with the ball over to Caleb Ochin, over to Clay Yo. Travis Smith gonna fire a three. Can't get it. Luke Fisher, the putback, and the freshman coming out strong here in the second half.
That's two great back-to-back offensive boards by Foreman and Fisher.
Tim McGuire looking to get something going for his team as they trail by 18 in the early goings of the second half. And an illegal screen. Hadn't heard that for a while, but right back at it again. San Manandi on the call.
And it's encouraging to see that, you know, Foreman may not be playing his best offensive game he wished he had, but he's still impacting the game in so many ways and still making it possible for the Pilots to enjoy this lead and stretch this lead.
Paul Foreman comes up woefully short on that turnaround. Robert Moon with the ball over to Simpson. Tim McGuire is going to rack up a three, a little short. Luke Fisher on the rebound. Caleb Ochin, nice pass. Travis Smith finishing it. And Caleb Ochin's fired up. Great pass by Caleb Clayo.
Here we go.
The steal, Ochin from his knees. Paul Foreman, he's got it. And the Pilots are getting moving. 22-point lead.
And how about Caleb Ochin tonight?
Moon able to corral it, trying to drive in. And a foul called on Luke Fisher. Pilots coaching staff not too happy with that call. And head coach David Jardine needs a timeout as the Pilots have come out swinging here in the first 4 minutes of the second half, and really the last couple minutes they have blitzed Andrews University and they have no answer for it.
Do you think he's going to shoot the ball off the floor down there?
I think he thought about it. He looked up and Clay was covered and he kind of stared at the basket for a second. I think everybody's kind of glad he didn't.
I mean, well, what more can you say about, Caleb Ochin tonight? First thing he said at the tip-off is, there's Caleb Ochin, that's what he does, and he has continued to do that all night. Wreak havoc on the defensive end, and he's made some spectacular plays as the front of that press.
We said it in the first game, I'm sure we'll say it plenty of times this season, the definition of spark plug. Caleb Ochin lives that out every second he is on the floor, always diving after every ball, always making every play. He had the fantastic pass to Travis Smith, and the Pilots have now expanded their lead to 22. 46-24, 6:23 left in this one, and the freshman, to start this second half, holy cow, Luke Fisher, Paul Foreman.
That's what that's what they missed in the first half. And we're doing the things we said we had to. We're controlling the offensive glass. We're not turning the ball over, and we're playing our game. And look what's happening. We're pulling away substantially. And maybe that lapse in the first half, foul trouble, but there's growing pains along the way. But the start to the second half has been encouraging so far.
Robert Moon to inbound it for Andrews University. He gets it in. Now Tim McGuire has it top of the key. And an illegal screen on 35, Chris Owens. And folks, not that illegal screens are particularly funny, but if you were with us in the first half, that's close. We're close to double digits called in this game of illegal screens. These players just not buying into the idea that you have to be set and cannot use your hands when setting a screen. Up top, Caleb Ochin, extra pass. A shot there. Going back around, Clay Yo. And a foul called, hand check foul on Tim McGuire.
And it still amazes me how big of a first step Clay Yo takes. Good luck any type of defender trying to stay in front of that, because it is so long.
Especially when he gets switched on a guard that he already has 5-6 inches of height on.
Good night.
Chris Owens tipping that one out of bounds, so we'll stay with the Pilots. They got 25 seconds on the shot clock. Plenty of time as Caleb Ochin was set to inbound it. And get it right back. Down low, and say to the Pilots again, they say Simpson got a hand in on that. Very close play. Clayo, pump fake, drives in, finger roll, and it'll go home. He has not looked comfortable shooting the three, but everything else, he has been playing his game.
Yeah, he has been getting to the basket with ease tonight.
And there's a steal. Here we go! Slamming it home! Pilots lead 50-24. The press works again.
And we have looked great in this press all night. And I think that's a testament to we have great athletes on the wing. Long, lengthy, scrappy, just willing to make any play possible.
Paul Foreman, great defense there. And yeah, there's going to be a foul. I believe they're going to call it on Travis Smith, actually, underneath on the shot. So Chris Owens will be shooting two. Long for Owens off the rack. Fisher going to take a seat. The fans incredibly proud of his effort here tonight as Owens makes the second. So 15 minutes to go in this one. Pilots doubling up Andrews University 50-25. Ochin driving in. Gets the roll. Great play. Caleb Ochin over the big man, Simpson.
Yeah, great move and a great finish by Caleb Ochin there in traffic.
Tim McGuire launches it almost into the crowd. Great play there by Robert Moon to save it. Simpson driving in. He gets it to go off the glass.
Yeah, I think that's the best play their leading scorer's made tonight.
Carpenter now looking to get something going. Clay Yo. Back over to Kuhn. Pilots trying to find another hole in this zone. Kuhn can't get the three to go. Hit one in the first half.
Good ball movement there by the Pilots, though. Made the extra pass, got a good look, didn't fall.
You can hear on the Pilot sideline over here, the coaching staff always saying one more, and you're going to get that against a zone. You always want to be moving the ball because someone will sooner or later be out of position. Bojan getting a little too aggressive on that one. It's called for the foul.
Yeah, you'll have that. With the way he plays sometimes, those fouls are just inevitable.
Freshman for freshman, Grant Gaylor checking in for Paul Foreman. Robert Moon to inbound it. Down low, Moon. No dice, able to tip it back out to Simpson.
He has not been able to get anything going at all tonight. Great defense has been played on him.
Cardinals leading scorer, just 2 points on the night, those coming from the free throw line. Give and go, Kuhn almost losing it. He's able to save it, out to Carpenter. The first mistake we've seen Jordan Kuhn make all night. He's able to get it back out to his teammate. And Clay Yo telegraphed that one. Robert Moon got in on it. Andrews University not able to take advantage of the numbers they had moving down the floor. Chris Owens now with the ball as we come down. 12:50 to go in this one. Pilots leading 52-27. Short on the three. Caleb Bojan getting out and running, and a foul called on number 22, Oliveira.
Yeah, he had a good game against us last year. He's also been relatively quiet tonight, so we've done a good job at limiting their guys that could hurt us.
Yeah, 15 points in the game last year for him. That was up at Andrews University. Saw the Pilots get a 33-point victory, 84-51, and it seems the Pilots look pretty comfortable down the stretch in this one. Still 12 and a half to go, but the Pilots are certainly starting to play more of their game. And what a play, Jawan Carpenter!
Good move.
Drops it home.
Here we're starting to get a little bit of our offensive mojo back. Those shots that weren't falling in the first half are falling now.
That's a charge. Oh yeah, Clay Yo got set. Owens tried to wrap it around him, and absolutely great call there. I don't think you're going to see that called that often, but that's certainly the correct call.
That was a great play by Clay Yo.
Pilots with the ball. Caleb Bojan bringing it up the court. Bounce pass in. Clay Yo looking for Grant Gaylor. Can't get the three to fall, and Chris Owens. Blocked! Oh my goodness! Jordan Kuhn says no! And he is fired up! Chris Owens, I think he was looking to take out some frustration. Took a little too long to get to the rack. And Jordan Kuhn got there first.
Chris Owens got put on a poster right there. What a block by Jordan Kuhn. Great hustle to get back and contest that play.
Holy cow.
Man, that was awesome.
He's going to try to fire up a three this time, and he can't get that. And they call Kuhn for pushing Robert Moon. They're getting a little physical down there. going after the rebound, and that will give the ball right back to Andrews. Pilots leading 54-27, 11:39 to go in this one. Robert Moon to inbound.
We almost looked like two different teams there in that first half and second half.
Three ball just barely clips the rim. Pilots trying to push down to Luke Fisher, gets it to go. Great ball movement.
Way to get that ball up the court there by Kuhn, and then a great look by Ochin to find the easy bucket.
Trying to drive in, shot clock winding down, 3 seconds left on it. Owens got to fire up a shot, he hits it. Carpenter able to corral it, got to get back in.
Good look, good position by Carpenter, you just got to finish that.
McGuire now trying to reset his offense. Owens can't get the shot to go. Well, friendly fire trying to get that rebound. Kuhn ended up with it. Luke Fisher, a little up and under, had to corral the pass.
That was an impressive switch to his left hand there.
Jawan Carpenter just knocks the pass out of the way, and I'll tell you what, I think the big story tonight, we keep talking about it, Indiana University looks absolutely lost when trying to navigate this Pilot defense.
I mean, it's been amazing. I mean, I don't know how many complaints you can have about the defensive end. I mean, we've held them to 29 points halfway through the second half. I mean, I think any coach would be happy with that. I mean, our athleticism just shines through. I am awed at how hard and how athletic our wings are. And I mean, there's just going to be plays and plays and plays happening by them all year.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look now, the Pilots scoring starting to get a little more spread out. A lot of guys have been getting to the rack, getting to the line, and especially the second half, making shots. We talked about just working your way through it. They were finding the holes. They just got to hit the shots. In this half, they have, and now you see a 29-point lead.
Yeah, and it's been tonight. It's been a whole team effort. Like we were plagued by the foul trouble bug in the first half, and we weathered through that. And I mean, everyone may not have scored, may not have contributed directly, but I mean, there was so many little things done by so many different players off that bench in the first half and in the second half tonight. That it's got to be encouraging for Coach Lightfoot to see this deep of a bench and come out and contribute.
Real quick before we get back out there, Pilots leading 58-29, 9:45 to go. The block by Jordan Kuhn. I mean, he had time to look down at the guy coming in.
He was up there. I mean, I think that's Sports Center top 10 caliber.
Oh, we'll have to make a call, see if we can't get him on there, because that was fantastic.
That was an awesome block. Great play.
Almost a steal there on the inbound.
It's like he's got a nose for the basketball. He is everywhere where there's a play to be made.
Deep three, getting it to go home. Nice shot there. Jordan Kuhn now bringing it back up. Nick Kindig has checked back into the game, as has Paul Foreman. So right now you're seeing three freshmen on the floor in Gaylor, Fisher, and Foreman. Jordan Kuhn, why not? Deep three, just couldn't get it to roll home.
Yeah, essentially Jordan Kuhn, the only one in there right now with any experience from last year.
Kindig taking the defensive duties up top on Tim McGuire.
McGuire's been quiet this second half after being one of the main reasons they were still in the game in the first half.
Check foul there on Paul Foreman. I believe that'll be Paul's third.
And Andrews will be in 1-1 the rest of the way.
Comes up short, and Kuhn the rebound. Let everybody get out and go as he brings it up the floor for the Pilots. Alley-oop, Grant Gaylor finishing up top. Saw that coming from a long way out, and Andrews couldn't get there. Perfect pass from Jordan Kuhn, and the crowd is fired up.
A lot to put another notch in the freshman's confidence. I mean, great play.
First dunk of his career for Grant Gaylor. And the three rattles out. Kuhn looking to push and stops. Here comes Paul Foreman down the lane. Nice pass, and it's tipped out of bounds by Chris Owens. Way to get there. He had Luke Fisher open, and Chris Owens making the play to knock it out of bounds, force the Pilots to reset. 7:53 to go in the game. Pilots lead 60-32, and Luke Fisher is going to fire a three. He's got it! The big man stepping out, burying the three.
How about these three freshmen right now?
All of them making high-impact plays from start to finish tonight. Tim McGuire answers with a three of his own, but at the beginning of the season, if you had told me that we would ever see this combination of five on the floor, I'd have said you were insane. But Mike Lightfoot buying into the young guys, letting them prove themselves, and they have not disappointed.
No, they have not. I mean, they've all played great. They've all done very positive things to impact this ball game. And I think he's got to be more than happy with the performance he's had out of
Nick Kindig. I think he wanted to shoot that one as it was coming his way. Luke Fisher's just going to keep firing away, and it'll rattle home. Luke Fisher in double digits. He and Paul Foreman have combined for 21 tonight.
Luke Fisher showing us some nice range these last couple of possessions. That's encouraging to see.
You throw Grant Gaylor in there, that's 25 points out of the three freshmen. You can't ask for more than that. As Tim McGuire is a shooting stroke going here. Back-to-back threes for him.
Yeah, Tim McGuire just hit some tough shots tonight. Sometimes you just got to tip your hat. The guy playing offense and move on.
Moon looking to drive, and he's fouled on the way in by Robert Moon. Pilots in the bonus, so Kuhn will be shooting a 1-and-1 into the game now. Clay Yo and number 1, Trayvon Covington. Great to see Trayvon in, had just a brutal knee injury last year, and finally just getting back to close to where he was, still not even 100%. Kuhn gets ready to line up the second free throw here. Made the first. And he hits it. Folks, just thanks again for joining us tonight on the Bethel Sports Network as the Bethel Pilots are leading Andrews University 67-38 with just over 6 minutes to go in the game as the Pilots have trapped Robert Moon. And almost another turnover and a foul by Clay Yo. Yeah, he got him around the back before he ever got the ball. And
full spill there by Paul Foreman.
I'm not sure. Clay had an excuse to end up on the floor. Paul just kind of went down and joined him.
Yeah, and we hit on Trayvon coming into the game, and I know me and you were talking earlier. We can't wait to see this guy in some game action because he might be the most athletic guy on this team.
Oh, certainly. Just a gym rat. Getting in, always getting a lift in, and if you ever get a chance to see him in warm-ups, I mean, this guy can throw it down, and that's incredibly impressive being a 6-foot-tall guard. So refs clean up a little sweat there on the floor. It's going to be Simpson shooting 2. Make there for Simpson on the first one as he gets it to roll in.
The Pilots have done a nice job the second half of extending this lead and fixing the problems that they've had in the first quarter. You haven't seen many of them in the second half.
Simpson goes 2 for 2 from the line there. Pilots lead by 27, 6 minutes to go. Taylor Bochin over to Trayvon. Back around, down low Jawan, and they call a travel on Jawan.
Yep, just slid that pivot foot a little bit. Well, we have seen some very encouraging things out of Mr. Carpenter tonight. Done a great job on both the offensive and defensive end.
Certainly took a shot above the eye in the first half, so able to come back from it. Holy cow, what a play by Tim McGuire. Flying in there through contact. He's had a very impressive night. And a foul called on him there as he went in for the block.
And that'll be his fourth. And he picks up number 5 and goes to the bench. They might be in a world of hurt.
Yes, sir. He's done all he's can tonight, and early in the first half really was the main reason that this game was close. The Pilots finally got their motor running and have started to pull away with this one as Glayo hits the first. Luke Fisher checking back in for Paul Foreman. And it rolls home for Glayo. Pilots have done a fantastic job of hitting their free throws tonight, and that's so critical. You just can't afford to miss many of those, and they've done a fantastic job tonight.
Yeah, we see it all too commonly. Games are given away at the charity stripe, and I mean, if we can capitalize on that, it's one less problem we have to worry about this year.
Missed 3 from number 1, Joshua Paulos. And Clay Yo right down the lane. A little too strong, couldn't finish, and back comes Simpson, has to track it down. Trayvon was looking to do what Jordan Kuhn did, and a nice move by Simpson to avoid that from happening. As the Pilots reset. Extra pass to Clay Yo, shot fake, steps into it too, and can't hit it.
Yeah, he has failed to get anything going from the outside tonight, but has been more than impactful in every other way of this game.
He's going to try it again, and again, can't hit the 3, but a foul called underneath on, I believe, Paulos. As he and Luke Fisher were getting tangled up going after that rebound, so Luke Fisher will be shooting a 1-and-1.
Yeah, great game from Clayo though tonight. Outstanding defense. Got to the basket whenever he wanted to.
Probably the quietest 22 he'll have in his career. Like we said, just hasn't looked comfortable all night whenever he's done taking a jump shot. But giving credit where credit's due, he didn't keep forcing many of those. At times tried to get himself going, but when that wasn't working, he just took over his man and got inside. And 22 points from him, really a conceded team effort tonight by the Pilots as they lead 70-44, 4.5 to go in this one. Fisher hits both freebies. Nick Little will try to bring it up the court. Robert Moon driving in, getting it back out. Little a deep 3. He's got it.
You got to give them some credit though. They have hit some tough shots, some big 3-pointers tonight.
Kindig now running the point for the Pilots. Driving in, little kick over. Grant Gaylor right off the front of the rim, gets his own miss and is swatted. Nice play by Joshua Paulos. Knocked it out of Gaylor's hands and out of bounds. It'll stay with the Pilots. And Grant couldn't corral it. Knocks it out of bounds.
And we've seen some encouraging things out of Kindig tonight. I mean, out of maybe all the people we expected not to play, he might have been one of them. And he's done some very encouraging things on the basketball floor for us tonight.
He got in partway through the first half. And a foul on Gaylor, just didn't make it there in time. But yeah, as you were saying, he got in midway through the first half, and he's done everything that Coach Mike Lightfoot has asked him to. He hasn't forced anything. He's played good defense. Yep. Robert Moon shooting, hitting the first. Long on the second one. As Kindig will bring the Pilots back up the floor. Final 3.5 from the Wycamp Athletics Center. Pilots leading 71-48, and Trayvon can't get the three, but Travis Smith, the offensive rebound. Nick Kindig's going to rack up a three. Just can't get another offensive board. Luke Fisher, another one. No foul, no jump ball called, and Kindig, that's off of Andrews. Great play there by Nick Kindig, just getting it tipped. And it was off of Robert Moon and out of bounds.
There we go again. I mean, he's got his time and he's making the most of it. I mean, he's made small but very, very impactful plays tonight.
Travis going to get it out to Trayvon. He's going to pull up a jumper. Can't get it to go. Down low, and yeah, Travis had him wrapped up. He pretty outsized there. There's not a whole lot that Travis can do with that matchup.
And Travis Smith as a basketball player, no one's going to get the better of him either. He fights till the end.
And check.
Disappointing, probably a disappointing night in his books, but I mean, there's plenty of other games. We know what he's capable of. He's done it for 3-4 years now, so
the Pilots will expect plenty out of him. As I said earlier, the lone senior on the team, you got to get leadership. But checking into the game, Tanner Shepard, and the story we told you about Nick Kindig, same applies for Tanner Shepard. So great to see him getting in here in the final 2:46. Robert Moon made his first free throw. Pilots leading 71-48.
Yeah, Shepard's also walk-on our golf team here, so he's got multi-talents here to offer to Bethel College.
Well, Stevie to inbound it to Nick Kindig. Pilots wrapping it around the top of the key. Trayvon Tanner Shepard's going to rack up a three. He's got it! Three ball from the walk-on, Tanner Shepard.
Great shot by Tanner Shepard.
And every single person on the Pilots bench got up for that one, as you'd expect.
Literally, everyone has contributed to this win tonight, and I mean, those wins have to feel the best.
Kindig bringing it back up the floor over to Trayvon. Well, Stevie, a little jumper.
A little long there.
Comes up empty. You have to think he will hear about that from his teammates once they get back in the locker room. Pilots a 25-point lead right now, minute 40 on the clock as Will Stevie now fouls San Menandi.
Stevie also done some nice things tonight. He's hit the boards hard. For the most part, he's played great defense.
Stepped up when he had to when Juwan Carpenter got hit above the eye and had to come out. now the Pilots have completely emptied the bench. The final two guys that haven't seen the floor tonight, Kyle Thompson and Keith Cochran. Grant Gaylor and Will Stevie going to take a seat. Kindig, a deep three. And Keith Cochran getting a hand in there, just couldn't come up with the offensive rebound.
He almost had a nice little tip in there.
And Nick Kindig coming up with the block. Nick Little tried to get around him. Nick Kindig hasn't hit his typical three. Comes up with a swat.
And this has been a block party down there the second half.
Absolutely.
4 or 5 great blocks.
Pilots using their athleticism tonight, getting after it defensively.
Yeah, Nick Kindig showing us he can do more than shoot. Very impressed by him so far.
Ronnie trying to go to work on Keith Cochran, knocked away by Trayvon Covington. Final 60 seconds. Tanner Shepard, why not another? And rattles out, but Keith Cochran the putback on the offensive board. Tanner Shepard's three hit everything and just didn't go home, but great job there by Keith to get a shot up and in. And another offensive foul, that one on Joshua Paulos, but thankfully it wasn't an illegal screen this time.
We've got to be close to the.
Oh, we are over double digits for offensive fouls tonight. Cochran back up top. Kindig trying to get something, almost got knocked out of bounds, able to get it back out. Trayvon Covington going to line up a three off the front of the rim. Kindig will get it, put up a free throw line jumper. And Nick Kindig hits that. That's 4 for him tonight. Final 14 seconds of this one. Pilots lead 78-52. And we'll see if Andrews throws up another shot here. Final 5. Chris Owens looking to drive on Kyle Thompson. No foul. And he gets the buzzer beater to go. That'll count. But a great win for the Pilots. 78-54, your final. And the big stories have to be the Pilots' defense and the team effort they put out tonight.
Oh, it was a great team effort. I mean, from 1 to 13, I mean, they all played fantastically. They all played within themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody got off the bench tonight. Everybody played. It was a fantastic win for the Pilots. Clay Yo led the team in scoring, but everybody was getting after it. Everybody did everything they were asked of as the Pilots go running over this tradition now for at least the first 2 games this season. They get right in the middle of the student section, thanking these fans for being here. It's one big family. It's one big team effort, and the Pilots showed that in spades tonight. Everybody doing everything they could. A lot of guys getting out there that maybe you don't expect to see, but they did everything. And I think one of the best things out of the Pilots tonight, we saw them put up over 100 points in that first game. They gave up 84. That's kind of getting to where you don't want to give up that many. They turn right around tonight. They only give up 54. Next Pilots game is this weekend over at the Best Western Hoop Fest in Goshen. They'll play a couple games. Our next coverage here on the Bethel Sports Network is next Friday night, the 13th. Gates Automotive Classic will be here the Friday, the 13th, and Saturday afternoon, the 14th. Griffin, thanks for joining me here tonight. I'm Ethan Klein, signing off for the Bethel Sports Network.